Hey guys, it's Patrick. I am updating yet again. Probably because I'm just kind of excited in general about the passing that's been going on lately. I'm sorry about the lighting. It's really bad in here right now. But B, because I am a few days shy of 15 months on testosterone, so I'm going to make this my 15 months on T video. Um, and yeah, I actually just did a shot that was really, really painful for some reason. Usually I do like the 22, I think is the larger gauge needle, which I draw up with, and then I switch to a smaller needle. Maybe it's the opposite. I don't know, whatever. But usually it doesn't hurt that much. It hurts some, but this time it hurt like the big needle was going into my leg. So I don't know what's up with that. I didn't bleed too much. Um, and I think the tea is in my body, so that's good stuff. Um, Something I talked about last video was just a new kind of emotional landscape that's going on. I think what it is, and I just was trying to like describe this to Clara, is like, I don't know, I guess if you think of my life as like a piece of paper folded in half, and this whole first part of my life I'm read as a female, and this whole second half of my life I'm going to be read as a guy, and I've just crossed over that line where, like, I'm still not quite there yet, but I've just crossed over in some ways and am being read correctly, and that is making me want to go back and, like, people told me this before, like, man, wait till you pass, it's gonna be such a mind fuck, you're gonna be thinking about so many things, and before I was just like, as you know, no, all I want is to pass, and it's gonna be fine, it's gonna be glory, and it is glory a lot of the time, but, like, so here I am just passing that, like, line, and looking back now at the whole rest of my life, and wanting to re-examine all of it, like, I spent this afternoon a little bit stoned making a list of all the places that I want to return to. All three of the elementary schools I went to, the middle school I went to, the high school I went to, streets I grew up on, you know, the friendlies my dad used to take me there to, like, or the parking lot that still remains, all sorts of places. My cabin in Vermont, like, to go and sometimes just to like be a guy and like be read as a guy, when I'm a little bit further along, and like have that just be okay. Like maybe I'll just go to like a mall in Connecticut and just like walk around, But in other cases to really like, I don't know, it's kind of like that video where I like wrote a letter to myself, my past self. Lisa and Patrick were kind of communicating in that writing, and it's kind of to do that, to like resolve that, to kind of meld these experiences and who I am now and who I was then, and both at the same time. And it's really hard to describe, and so hopefully I'll write it down and be able to describe this a little bit more efficiently next time I make a video. But that's what's been going on for me. I did do some writing about just like this feeling of happiness that I'm going to share with you guys today, as like kind of my 15th month, and I'm sure there will be a lot more growing in the coming months that I'll be happy to share with you guys, I hope. It feels like payoffs are happening across the board, not even just transition wise, but taking risks in a lot of places in my life, like kind of no holds bar, and like having that be like the new way that I live my life, and like kind of feeling addicted to that. And the other thing I'll mention is like this passing thing kind of reminds me of spring. I always talk about spring as like, I feel like everybody's manic in spring. If you know anything about mental illness, like manic is just like you're you're all over the place because it's spring, because you've been inside all winter long, and you're going and you're buying seeds, and you're irrigating your lawn, and you're shopping for capris, and you're, people are just all about spring. I just feel like everyone comes out, and the streets are crowded, and, that's how I feel about beginning to pass, from the moment I woke up today until right now. And even right now, like, I've just been creating and writing and doing art and talking to whoever will listen to me. And it's interesting, and I haven't quite figured out what that's about, but it's a thing. So here's what I wrote on happiness. Alright. This has been the weirdest winter I can remember. We got one freak snowstorm on Halloween, cheating autumn of its remaining splendor. Typically in January and February, we'd have temperatures in the single digits and feet upon feet of snow. But for the rest of the winter, the daily weather was averaging 40 degrees. This Thursday, it snowed. It snowed a glorious foot, and as I drove my beautiful commute up to work in Vermont, just taking in the whiteness, the purity that snow brings, the quiet. The roads were pretty well maintained, but even the slushy spots that would typically cause me to grip the wheel and feel my heart pound, I felt serene. I should mention that this past week I've been working down on the substance abuse dual diagnosis inpatient unit in my hospital. I've been working on the state hospital, Tyler 4, since the 15 state hospital beds took over the 15 LGBT unit beds on my unit back on August 29th. I had no idea how I was going to be read this week, that is. Just last week on Tyler 4, I was being actively harassed for being trans. I'm unsure how the general public reads me still. The nurses I've worked with since beginning my job and incidentally my transition for a year still slip up my pronouns, but this may just be because I met them when I was still not passing at all. I have really no clue how people really read me at first glance, so this week I butched it up. I wore a button-down shirt and a tie every day. I used my dude broliest voice and swagger. And maybe it was the tie and the swagger, maybe the tea is actually just starting to work, but every patient I worked with down on Tyler 1 showed me that they read me as a dude, or at least had no issue at all with me being a trans guy. It was amazing. It was more than amazing. The snow, the newness of it all, how it displays a whole new layer of wonder and possibility to the world, the feeling of being seen, the feeling of passing as myself. It's just light. Light is the best way I can describe those moments when I just feel like I'm so alive. I feel happy. It ebbs and flows still, but I feel happy. I don't remember the last time I felt this happy. Later, guys.